Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Going For It Sim Studio. Today we're going to do a sequel to my build video, and this one is to help you all plan for what you are going to build and kind of take care of a little bit of the fear of the what if. It's tough. When you're doing your research, you want to make sure that you get everything you want, and you don't want to have to go back and do things that you wish you would have done during the initial build. So after I had constructed this beautiful simulator studio, what would I have done differently? We're going to get into every single one of those details right now. All right, so as you can see, there's no picture behind me, and that's because my BenQ LK936 ST projector is actually in for a bit of warranty. So to kickstart that, let's talk about the projector. Would I have done something different? The answer is easy, no. I really enjoy this projector. It gives me future-proof capabilities. It's great for cinema, and it is fantastic as a golf projector. Now, do you need to spend that kind of money on a projector? Absolutely not. It's really important that you buy the projector that fits your budget and your goals. Don't get uncomfortable and put a bunch of money into a projector when you can put that money somewhere else. So what have I changed since I released that initial video and my initial build? I've done just 3 things. I've got a new computer. I'm no longer running the laptop. I now have a tower PC. I put a touchscreen up, mainly because About Golf was designed around a touchscreen, and the user experience is much, much better with that touchscreen capability. I've also added the AG Flix camera system. That's something that I wanted from the beginning. It's a vital piece of practicing with purpose. I am able to play and I can see exactly what's going on, and I don't have to rely on guessing on feel. So what would I have changed? What do I wish I would have done during the simulator build? You know, a really big one is the audio. I wish I would have pre-wired for Dolby Atmos. Just had something set up, already done, the wiring in place so that when I was ready, all I had to do was cut a hole for the speaker, wire it up, and put it in. I thought about doing that, and honestly, it was laziness. I just didn't want to cut even more holes and do all this work, and now it's going to be an even bigger project when I get there. The soundbar that's back there now is okay, but it is not that immersive experience that I would like to have, especially when watching movies out here. Another big one is air conditioning. I've got an air-conditioned house. I thought that maybe during the summer months that I knew it would get warm out here, but it got extremely warm. And so playing in the middle of the day became impossible. It was just really uncomfortable. Even with the fan going, there's just no airflow. And if I opened the garage door all the way, the ambient light coming in really just washed out that screen. So some sort of ductless system that I could easily DIY myself is something I probably should have done at the beginning, and it's something I will absolutely do for next summer. A small piece that I wish that I would have done from the very beginning is some sort of club rack. So when I started, I just leaned the clubs up against the wall. I had them in order so that I could turn around, grab a club, and go ahead and hit. What that did is it left fingerprint marks, or not really fingerprints, but just scuffs, where I would grab the club from the grip. And the matte paint is just, it's tough when it comes to scuffs. And so I had to clean that up constantly, and I eventually got this rack here you see behind me off of Amazon for roughly $35, and I just don't really like how it hangs on the shaft. I'm worried it's gonna scuff them. It hasn't yet, and it is a really soft plastic, but some kind of really cool custom-built box where I could lean it up against that looked really nice. It would add a great visual touch to the simulator, and it would be a really cool thing just to be able to reach over and grab what I want without worrying that I'm gonna scuff the clubs, and it would show them off really, really well. So the ceiling is another thing that I struggled with when I was building the sim. I really kind of did as much research as I could. What were people doing? What looked the best? And I went on a path that was more of, I wanted it to look clean. Right now, it's the egg carton acoustic tiles that I glued to a styrofoam backing, and I put it up in the ceiling. If you go watch my build video, you can see exactly how I did that. The problem with them is it doesn't deflect the balls how I initially thought they would, and they do bounce more than I would like, and sometimes you get a scary bounce that isn't exactly ideal, especially when you have vehicles behind me here. The safety baffles by Carl's Place, that's the wish. I should have done that. I probably will convert my ceiling to that here in the near future. I really like how the ball hits those and it just kills it and it drops it. And I just didn't realize that the wedge shots would go so high so much. And it's really hard to practice any sort of flop shot because of that. I just don't want it hitting the ceiling and getting a weird bounce. So that's an easy thing to do. Put that into your plan. You won't be disappointed. Doesn't look the best necessarily in my opinion, but that's something I can overlook to be able to hit those high shots. I would have loved to build my floor up a little bit higher so that I could put in the AG Balance Pro. It would have been really cool to have that there. Yes, it's an expensive addition, but boy, now that I'm this far in the journey to learn golf and I'm struggling with my weight balance, I would love to be able to see exactly what's going on with my weight shifting. It would help me learn the game a little bit quicker, and I would be able to see hard data, which is something that I rely on for this channel. Another piece that I wish I would have done a little bit more of, and I ignored it because I didn't want to focus too much on it during the build, was some sort of storage solution or cabinetry. Something that the computer could sit in, something that I could put all my little accessories in, my training aids, tees, extra balls, just stuff that I've collected that's sitting over here on the floor that you don't see on camera, that when I have friends over, I just have to move. Especially if I have a lefty coming over. I have everything set up to be able to be moved, which was the initial idea. And so to now have to just constantly move that, it's just kind of a hassle, and it's an eyesore in my opinion. It kind of ruins the look when you walk into the sim when there's just stuff here. So think through a good storage solution for your stuff. It's just kind of it's just a nice to have. And so that's really it. You know, I look back on my build and there's nothing else I would have changed. I thought everything came out really well. It's awesome to walk in here and see this every day. I'm happy when I walk in, and that was my overall goal. I wanted to create a space that I was excited to get into, because playing every single day in a simulator, it could get boring. And for me, if I have an area that I get to get excited to come out and play in, that's what I wanted, and that's what I absolutely have. The flooring is exactly what I wanted. I would not change anything about the putting turf. I love that I have a few cups that I get to putt into. It's really everything I want. So as you're planning out your simulator build, don't be afraid. It's okay. You know, really kind of focus on what are the key elements you want, what do you absolutely want right now, and what can you do in the future. You can always add stuff later. Don't make the mistake I did. I would absolutely wire your space for sound before you finish the walls. It is a big project, but now that I'm looking at a much bigger project to do this, it's just gonna be harder. I'm gonna have to probably repaint everything just to match it. And so that's something that even if you don't ever put audio in, it's not expensive, wiring's cheap, it's not that difficult in retrospect. So please don't overthink anything. Build that simulator you want. Have that setup that's gonna make you excited to go out and play and continue to develop your golf game. Please like, follow, and subscribe for much more content, and we will see you next time.